All right, so my name is Shayla Massey. I am a business owner. I have been a business teacher for 18 years. I teach business and marketing education. I'm a certified teacher within the state of Ohio and Virginia. And I decided to come to go live tonight because I was watching a video. Alston Boldenton, I think is his name, and it was basically talking about how this journey on YouTube is slow and steady, and that sometimes a video you'll post 2 or 3 months before it actually goes viral and people are actually watching the video in its entirety and um, or buying your affiliate, clicking on your affiliate links or what have you within the video. So one of the things that I said was, I'm going viral. I mean, not going viral, but I'm going on live today and I'm going to talk about something that has been such influential in my life. So I am older, as you can see. I'm not young, but one of the things that I clearly can say that has been consistent is my belief in Jesus Christ. It has not wavered. It has increased, and I'm thankful for that. I'm actually extremely thankful for that. But I'm going to start off by reading a Bible verse. And the scripture that I'm going to read is Luke 18:1 through 8. And it says, "And he spake a parable unto them to this end, that men ought always to pray and not to faint, saying, There was in the city a judge which feared not God, neither regarded man. And there was a widow in that city, and she came unto him, saying, Avenge me of my adversary. And he would not for a while, but afterward he said within himself, Though I fear not God, nor regard man, yet because this widow troubleth me, I will avenge her, lest by her continual coming she weary me. And the Lord said, Hear what the unjust judge saith. And shall not God avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them? I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth?" And that was the King James Version. I'm actually gonna read it in I'll do the Amplified Version, just so you can understand. So now Jesus was telling the disciples a parable that made a point that at all times they ought to pray and not give up and lose heart, saying, In a certain city there was a judge who did not fear God and had no respect for man. There was a desperate widow in that city, and she kept coming to him and saying, Give me justice and legal protection from my adversary. For a time he would not, but later he said to himself, Even though I do not fear God nor respect man, yet because this widow continues to bother me, I will give her justice and legal protection. Otherwise, by continually coming, she will be an intolerable annoyance, and she will wear me out. Then the Lord said, Listen to what the unjust judge says. And will not our just God defend and avenge his elect, his chosen ones who cry out to him day and night? Will he delay in providing justice on their behalf? I tell you that he will defend and avenge them quickly. However, when the Son of Man comes, will he find this kind of persistent faith on the earth? And what I want to say is that the most success I've ever had in my life has always been the same thing, is when I'm persistent, when I'm doing something every day I'm doing it. Every day I'm calling. Every day I'm going to see about it. That's when I found the most success in life. So let me give you a real example. When I first started my business, I really thought that I was going to make money quickly. I knew God was on my side, and I knew that. And when I say quickly, I mean I was going to make money in 1 month. That's quickly for me, not no less than 5 years. I can be honest, because most businesses don't really see a profit until after year 3 or year 5. So for me, I knew I was going to make it quickly. I was going to make it within 1 month or 2 months of me start opening doors, but that didn't happen. What did happen though was I had a lady who happened to come to the center at the same time that I happened to be there, because at this time I was not living in the same area as my business. So I was commuting back and forth, making sure that things were proper and together. And the lady, she said, I'm here because I want to get your service. And I was like, oh, okay, well, we're not open. That's okay. This is where I would like to have your service. So my first two customers was actually this lady. Now, to be all honest with you, I know God sent her there. And for the longest, I provided her with a service. I mean, she was my very first customer and she stayed a customer for over a year. She was my very first customer. And I know that she was sent to me by God. I honestly believe that. But every time I've needed something, it has been persistence. It has been when I was low on money because I didn't budget for salaries. I knew I had enough money to open the doors and to live my life as well, but I didn't allocate enough for salaries because I knew I was going to make money within a month. That wasn't something I needed to, but at this time in my business, I needed cash. I needed cash really quick. I had never been in a situation where I couldn't go to my mother and father and ask them for money. And so what did I have to do? I had to go to my friends, and one of my friends happened to be a new friend, and I had to ask them for cash. I had to show them my business plan, which I had. I had to it was very important that I have the money. And if it was not for these people or God placing it upon their heart to give me the money, my business would have folded. But when I say I was persistent, I was persistent. I called everybody in my phone, anybody that I remotely knew that had money, and I knew I had to go. There was one time in my business that I needed $18,000 cash. I can honestly say that. And I hadn't filed my taxes yet. I didn't know what was going to become of that. And one of the people who actually was helping me file my taxes gave me the money without even blinking twice. And so what I learned from this is that you never give up. But I can look back on my life and I can see I've always been persistent, always in every area, no matter how much money I made. I could I could really see that I've always been persistent. I am the type to call you. Like I am that individual in real life that will pick up the phone and call you every day until you answer my call and you do what I asked you, what I'm asking you to do. Because typically when I'm calling you and asking you to do something, it's in your job description anyway, and you have the power to say yes. And if you don't have the power to say yes, I find the person that does have the power to say yes to get what I want. But just like this parable I just read you from Luke 18:1 through 8, that Jesus talks about, that is real and real. That has been real in my life. I can honestly be a testimony and testify to that. I am the type that will call you and call you and call you and call you to wear you down to get what I am requesting. And that's what I want you to leave with. I'm not going to be on here long, but I want to leave you with persistence. Persistence will help you. Persistence will keep you. Persistence will get you what you desire. If it is the will for your life, even with persistence, that person, I remember Jesse Duplantis said, does the person you're asking have the power to say yes? If they don't have the power to say yes, you're talking to the wrong person. I remember hearing him say that in a clip. 30, no, my son is 24. So I remember him saying that maybe about 21 years ago. And if that person doesn't have the power to say yes, then you're talking to the wrong person. You keep asking until you are at the last resort. You don't stop at the secretary. You go to the secretary's boss. And if that boss says no, you go to the next person. And it's kind of like this journey that I'm on with YouTube. It's like I have to keep going because I know the freedom that I want. I know the freedom that I desire. I know my goals. I keep talking about it, but I have to get there. I have a YouTube channel that I was afraid to show my face on. It's just like, look, I'm a cool person. I don't really think I should have to show my face, but this is my real life. And then I realized, like, well, I heard someone say, well, what are you afraid of? And it's like, well, really and truly, I don't want to be bothered with people that I no longer talk to. Like if I don't talk to you anymore, it's a reason why I don't talk to you. But I don't want you to mindlessly be thinking about me one day and you find me and now here you are talking to me. Like I just I don't want that. Like if you're not in my phone, I don't have your phone number in my phone. I can't call you to check on you. You're not somebody I really want to talk to. So with that being said, it's like that's what I don't want. That's why I didn't put my name up there, is because I don't want to talk to you and I don't want you to find me and I don't want to have a conversation with you. It's nothing personal, it's nothing against you or anything. It's just I've moved on and you're not a part of my life. Just like you've moved on and I'm not a part of your life. It goes back and forth both ways. And so then I started thinking, but why wouldn't I want people to know that this is the life that I chose? Like God is no respecter of persons. That's another scripture I've been reading lately. And wait, let me I don't want to misquote it. Is because I am not. For there is no respect of persons with God. My apologies. So that's Romans 2:11 in the King James Version. There is no respect of persons with God. So whatever somebody else has, if that, he doesn't say that that person can have it and I can't have it. He says that if I see that person has it, I'm able to have it as well. But it's sometimes I ask myself, am I willing to do what that person did to get it? And most of the times when you find out somebody's story, no, you're not willing to do what that person does to get it. But for me, I enjoy traveling. I'm not real big on what my shoe says or what my purse is or what the label behind my neck says. But what I am real big on is traveling and going to new places, seeing my country, the United States, seeing the world, meeting people from all over. That's something I'm really big on. I am really big on that. I'm I want to leave this earth knowing that I loved others and that I brought peace when I came. That's the one thing. If nothing else, that's what I want to leave here with. Um, so yeah. So I want to say that persistence pays off. That's what this talk is about. Is to let you know, don't give up. Don't give up, whatever it is. Do some research on your own. We have the internet. I remember when the internet first came out. Yes, I'm that old. And it wasn't that much information on the internet, but now there's tons of information. You can find the answer to whatever you're looking for. You don't necessarily need to use AI. AI, in my opinion, is for people who can't think for themselves. Who can't you don't know the answer, like you don't know how to research the answer, formulate a sentence, and come up with a paragraph. That's my belief. Is it taking over? Yes. Does it save time? That's what they say. But I put in information into AI and I'm like, what is this? This don't even tell me. This is just a gloss over idea. It's not concrete. It doesn't give me factual information. It doesn't hone in on what I should specifically be doing or should not be doing. So persistence pays off. It really does. I remember when my son got kicked out of one school and I had to get him into another school. I called his old elementary school, and believe it or not, the secretary was friends with the admissions counselor, and she vouched for my son. And that was just me being persistent because I knew my son could not go to the local public school. And I knew that we had to maintain our scholarship that we get in our city. So our state offers educational scholarships to go to private schools. If you are in a failing district, I did own a home in a failing district, and because I owned a home, I qualified for my children to go, well, my son at the time, to go to a Catholic school. And so he got kicked out of one Catholic school. The first semester, I had to find another school for him. And in the meantime, I had to see if he could get into his first choice. So the school he ended up graduating from was his first choice, but the school he got kicked out of was my first choice because the Ohio Board of Regents said that this was an excellent school. It beat out the top independent boys school in our county based on the Ohio Board of Regents and the information that the students learned. So because my son had a disability, I felt like if he struggled at the school that I picked that he got kicked out of, then it would prepare him for college. So if he spent 4 years of high school learning how to produce materials, read, then he would be prepared for college and he would be successful in college on his own. But that wasn't the plan for his life. But as his mom, I was hurt at that time. I remember being hurt. I did not blame my son. I knew what I was getting him into before he got into that situation. The school was known for being racist towards African American students, but that was okay because my son had always been in environments where he was the only one. And he had also been in environments that were diverse. And when I say diverse, I mean they were diverse. They had students who were Muslims, they had students who were white, they had students who were Asian. And it just was a mixed population of students. There were students there who were several different cultures, ethnicities. So I just knew my son, and my son, he fit in. He has a personality. Like, my children are way cooler than me. And when I say they way cooler than me, they're so cool. They fit in with anybody. And I mean anybody. They can hang with any race of people. They can communicate with people on different levels. And I'm so thankful to know that I've been able to put them in situations and environments that would allow them to do that. But I was persistent. I was persistent in making sure that my son, he learned. I just, and that he saw his mom never give up, you know? Like, that's the one thing that I know I taught my children. You don't give up. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what's going on. You don't give up. You keep going. And that's persistence. That's the same persistence that they're talking about in Luke 18:1-8. You don't give up. I don't know what this will bring. I don't know what will happen, but I believe that something good will come from me being on YouTube. I believe that somebody will be encouraged, someone will be motivated, someone will not give up. Like, just don't give up. Like, I believe it'll happen for me, and I believe that it can happen for you too. But this is who I am in real life. This is who I am when the doors are closed. I'm the same person. I don't change. I just persistence, persistence, persistence. Persistence means you don't give up. That means you come back today, you come back tomorrow, you come back the next day, you come back the next day after that. That means you just don't give up. You do not give up. You keep asking because the Bible tells us, and Jesus explicitly tells us, that you're gonna get what you ask for. How many times have you prayed for something, you've gotten it, and then you realize, like, oh, smack, I shouldn't have prayed for that. That was the wrong thing to pray for. Luke 18:1-8. That's an example of that. So that's it. Again, make sure you comment below. I would love to hear your stories. I would love to hear if you were encouraged today. I would love to hear just your stories of persistence and how it paid off in your life. I do, when I find videos like this and they're intriguing, I do read the comments. I can honestly say that. I thought of me of all people, I would never be one to comment on social media, especially YouTube. But I find myself when people are authentic and they're themselves, commenting and liking other people's comments that they leave below. So, yeah, make sure you comment below about situations that have occurred in your life that you've been persistent, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. And on this channel, we talk about business and we talk about personal finance. Because I'm a business and marketing teacher. I'm a certified business and marketing teacher in the state of Ohio and Virginia. And so you may be wondering, like, well, how does this got to do with business and personal finance? Because in business, you have to be persistent. You have to be persistent for your business to be successful. I know you hear people talking about standard operating procedures right now or SOPs, but if you're not persistent, you don't even get to the SOP stage. You don't even come to that stage. So being persistent in business is a must. It is a must. There are programs out there that can help you, and the way that your paperwork gets approved through these programs is persistence. They ask you for documentation. You have to be and you have to be prepared in order to be persistent. You cannot be unprepared and be persistent. That needs to be commented as well. So every time I was persistent, I was prepared. I was ready. Anything they asked me for, even if I didn't have the answer right there, I got them the information and the answer that they requested and required of me. So persistence has to deal with being prepared and being ready. And that's what this journey for me is about, showing others how to be persistent, how to be prepared, how to be ready. If you're on YouTube talking about a topic and you are the body of knowledge of that topic, you don't need to research what nobody else is saying. I don't think you do, because you are already the knowledge. All you need to do is show up. That's all you need to do is show up and communicate that knowledge. If somebody watches this video, if they come on, they watch it, they don't watch it, guess what? I'm still going to show up and I'm going to save this video. So when they do find it, they're like, oh, this is good. I'm actually going to subscribe to this. So persistence is being prepared and being ready. And you just keep going and you keep going and you keep going. All right, make sure you subscribe and you leave a comment below. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.